Greetings, citizens of the world, this is Anonymous. The United Kingdom has fallen. It's fallen to fear, to silence, to authoritarianism. In the past 48 hours, multiple reports have emerged of UK citizens, activists, journalists, ordinary people being visited by law enforcement simply for speaking out against the Online Safety Act. This is not safety, this is censorship. Let us be clear, this legislation was never about protecting people. It is a calculated attack on freedom, cloaked in the language of safety. Governments have always used fear to justify control, and this is no different.
The United Kingdom, though, has begun enforcing an age verification aspect of its 2023 Online Safety Act, requiring platforms to ensure that young users do not have access to harmful content online. And age verification methods include photo ID matching, banking and phone network information, facial age estimation, and digital identity services.
Guys, we seriously need to talk about what's happening in the UK right now. Because if this gets worse, I will be leaving this country.
YouTube isn't your enemy. Spotify isn't your enemy. The government is the enemy. They are the ones that are trying to control what you say, and they are the ones that are making these companies do this. Do you think that YouTube wants to maintain a database of everybody's fucking driver's license? Why the fuck would they want to do that?
Imagine opening Wikipedia and being told to upload your passport. Imagine your favorite TikToker's video is banned, not for breaking the law, but for sharing political news. And imagine all of this happening in a democracy, in the name of keeping children safe. This isn't a dystopian movie. This is the UK's new Online Safety Act. And today, we're asking the real question. Is it about protecting children or controlling the internet? The UK's new Online Safety Act was sold as a way to protect kids online. But today, it's sparking outrage from privacy experts, businesses, and even regular internet users. Why? Because under this law, you may soon need to hand over your ID just to use websites like Wikipedia, Reddit, and X. Is this really about protecting children or controlling the internet? Let's get into it. The Online Safety Act, passed in 2023, gives Ofcom sweeping powers over what we see online. Its goal? To keep children safe from harmful content, things like pornography, self-harm, and hate speech. Platforms that fail to comply face fines as high as 10% of their global revenue, or even being blocked in the UK. On paper, that sounds like common sense. But here's the problem. The rules are so broad that everyday websites are caught in the crossfire. Wikipedia, a free, non-profit encyclopedia, is being pushed into the strictest category, meaning it could be forced to collect IDs from users.
So the operators of Wikipedia have lost their legal battle with the UK government, and it is very possible that those of us who live in the UK will no longer have access to Wikipedia. Now, if you're not aware, under the Online Safety Act, the media regulator Ofcom is poised to label Wikipedia as a Category 1 platform, and this would impose the strictest content rules possible, such as age verification for users, identity verification for contributors, and censorship of harmful topics. Wikipedia has already stated that they will not implement any of these new rules, arguing that they would be forced to censor crucial facts and potentially expose their volunteer contributors to real-world harm such as political harassment or worse, purely for documenting the truth. In addition, Wikipedia says that bad faith actors could easily exploit the new laws by filing fake complaints or exploiting vague harm rules to force them into entirely removing articles that people or the UK government/corporations simply disagree with. Now, as expected, the High Court ruled against Wikipedia, which means if Wikipedia does not implement the Category 1 rules, the UK government could block access to Wikipedia entirely for its citizens, which if the UK government does that, it would hands down be one of the biggest attempts at state censorship in the history of the UK. I hope we can all now see that this is what the Online Safety Act was really about. How does banning access to Wikipedia or stopping Wikipedia from running the way it always has done protect the safety of children? It doesn't, because that wasn't the main priority of the Online Safety Act. The main priority of the Online Safety Act is protecting the government and their interests by censoring what information we can see and what information we can give out. You should be afraid.
That's not just inconvenient. It strikes at the core of what made the internet open in the first place. Already, we're seeing real-world consequences. Popular platforms like Reddit, Discord, and even Spotify could require age verification. VPN usage is climbing as people look for workarounds. And in some cases, like influencer Dylan Page, content has been outright blocked in the UK, even when the platform itself didn't object.
Guys, we seriously need to talk about what's happening in the UK right now. Because if this gets worse, I will be leaving this country. You see, today I woke up to a notification that one of my videos had been restricted because it violates local law. And let me really emphasize this. TikTok themselves don't have a problem with this video. In fact, it can still be watched by everyone else outside of the UK. Bro, and when your local law is more strict than the infamously sensitive TikTok guidelines, you know that something is cooked. Now, it was removed under the UK's new Online Safety Act, which I'm sure you guys have heard of by now. It's supposed to protect children from harmful content online, but we're less than 2 weeks in and it's already taking down literal news reports. The news and flow of information has to be a protected space in every country. And by taking down my videos so that under 18s don't see them, that means everyone in the country over the age of 18 don't see it either. And again, I'll reiterate, this video wasn't even sensitive enough for TikTok to have a problem with it. This has to be called out now and as early as possible because it starts with one video on TikTok, but before you know it, people in this country will have to be using VPNs to keep up to date with the news. Just let that sink in. And I'm 100% serious when I said, if this gets worse, I'm out.
If influencers with millions of followers are being silenced, what chance does an ordinary person have? This isn't just about protecting kids. It's about who gets to decide what's safe to say online.
So the UK has effectively passed a law that censors anything that doesn't suit their narrative. This is called the Online Safety Act, and they've been able to do this by disguising it as a way to protect the kids, despite the laws still applying to adults as well. Now, aside from blocking adult sites, which a lot of people think is all the act does, it also provides ministers with authoritarian powers, and even restricts citizens from seeing news and facts. To an extreme extent as well, by the way, with people like Dylan Page's videos being censored. And although Dylan is known for being a very unbiased figure, in response, he actually posted his first ever biased video against the UK government, claiming he will completely leave the country if this isn't reversed, just as many people have already done. And so you really know it's bad when Dylan diverts from an unbiased script for a change. And let's just be real for a second, this is a serious fear, but it's also a gateway to ultimate censorship in the future. And if this doesn't change, the UK might truly be finished. But for now, the question is, what do you think?
Free speech in Britain don't make me laugh. The government's Online Safety Act is nothing but censorship with a shiny new name. They claim it's about protecting us, but who's it really protected? Politicians, big corporations, and anyone who doesn't want you questioning them. Today they'll censor what they call harmful. Tomorrow it's anything they don't like. Joke about the wrong thing, deleted. Question the government, silenced. Say something unpopular, banned. This isn't about trolls, it's about power. The power to silence you, the power to control the conversation, and the power to make sure only one version of the truth exists. Theirs.
They say it's about keeping kids safe online. I think it's about building the most tracked internet we've ever had. Let me explain. So in this new UK law, it means that sites like Reddit, Discord, YouTube, even Xbox have to verify your ID before you can see certain what they think is harmful content. We're talking about face scans, government IDs, and credit cards. On paper, it's all about protecting the kids. In reality, you lose privacy, invite censorship, and basically kill anonymity. Even Taylor Lorenz has been sounding the alarm. In The Guardian, she wrote that these rules have already blocked SpongeBob GIFs, Spotify playlists, Biden policy information, even Minecraft color settings. And it's not stopping in the UK. Australia, Ireland, parts of the EU, and US states are already moving in that same direction. My hot take is that safety obviously matters, but not if it means the most surveyed, censored internet we've ever known, and it could be coming sooner than we think.
It's fucking stupid, it's pointless. And it's absolutely pointless because it's supposed to protect children, even though it's fucking no. If the government doesn't want kids to be on these sites, tell their parents to do their fucking job. The duty as a parent is to prepare your kids for the world out here. And me and you both know it's a shit show out here.
Obviously, I think, kids should stay safe online. I mean, having been brought up in the internet myself, there's some scary stuff out there. So I feel a bit weird about giving, some websites like my identification, you know, you don't know who you can trust.
I think there's some good uses for it, but it's a little invasive. Stuff like blocking news websites, like it's just the government overreaching its power. It's just really incorrect.
What is happening? For those of you that don't know, basically the United Kingdom, the UK, they have this new law called the Online Safety Act, and basically a bunch of websites have to have age verification, right, in order to access those websites. Now, it started off as, adult websites, and look, you could make the argument, yeah, okay, adult websites, you have to upload your ID, okay, you know what I'm talking about, but like, why do you need to upload your ID to go on freaking Wikipedia or Spotify? Like, what are we doing here?
YouTube isn't your enemy. Spotify isn't your enemy. The government is the enemy. They are the ones that are trying to control what you say, and they are the ones that are making these companies do this. Do you think that YouTube wants to maintain a database of everybody's fucking driver's license? Why the fuck would they want to do that? No, they don't want that. They don't want to deal with any of this, because if they did, they would have done it earlier. The only reason why they do it is because they have to do it. The real reason why they want your ID on the internet is so they can prosecute you for speaking your mind online and speaking up. It's not for children's safety, it's for their safety. Children are simply a misdirection.
Critics say the Online Safety Act creates a goldmine for hackers. Age verification means handing over IDs, biometric scans, or credit card info to third-party companies, and data leaks are already a common reality.
Let's say, for example, I open up the Clock app and the Clock app gives me an age verification and asking me to show my ID, and I show them my driving license. And then there's a data leak and I just get a notification saying, hey, your driving license was exposed on the internet. Nothing we could have done. Who do I sue? Who do I sue? As a technical professional and as a DevOps engineer that has worked for quite a few different tech companies, I find it shocking that this act was implemented and they just had the assumption that these organizations have systems and databases in place to hold personal identifiable information. Information that we're not supposed to store. And also, not to be shady, but to be shady at the same time. We live in a country where the Ministry of Defense was hacked. We live in a country where hospitals have been hacked. Multiple hospitals on the NHS get hacked all the time, where they have their data held hostage, patient information held hostage by hackers. Data leaks happen all the time. You can literally go onto your phone, if you have an iPhone, an Apple device, open up your passkeys or your passwords app. You're going to see the number of passwords that are out there that have been exposed. Imagine that you had a data leak and a picture of your driving license, which has your name, address, date of birth on there, is just exposed on the internet for cyber criminals to use. Ridiculous.
The act also raises red flags over encryption. WhatsApp, for example, has said it would rather leave the UK than weaken its security.
WhatsApp says it might leave the UK all because of a new law, and according to the BBC, it's not an empty threat. The law in question, the Online Safety Act. It gives Ofcom power to demand access to private messages, even if they're encrypted. Under the new rules, apps like WhatsApp could be forced to scan your messages before you send them. And according to the BBC, WhatsApp's global boss, Will Cathcart, said, "We will not lower our security for any government. And if they're forced to break encryption in the UK, they'd rather leave the country entirely." Signal said the same. If the law goes ahead as written, they'll shut off service to the UK as well. Critics, including the Electronic Frontier Foundation, say you can't scan for harmful content without breaching encryption. This would effectively turn private messaging into mass surveillance.
Think about that. A law meant to protect people could actually make them less safe by centralizing sensitive data and opening the door to surveillance. Businesses are pushing back too. Smaller forums are shutting down rather than comply. Big players like Apple and Meta have warned that the act threatens encryption and could force them to scale back UK services. Politicians are divided. Labour defends the law as necessary for safety, while Reform UK calls it dystopian overreach. When the debate over protecting kids turns into a fight over free speech, privacy, and business survival, you know something's gone wrong in the drafting. On a global scale, the act could create a fragmented internet, with different countries imposing conflicting regulations. Ultimately, some worry it could pave the way for a surveillance state, where governments and tech giants control what we see, say, and share online.
First, we will censor any use related to social taboos. Then we will censor anything else that we desire. If anyone complains, we will accuse them of wanting to engage in or promote social taboos.
The Online Safety Act promised to safeguard the next generation. But today, it risks eroding the freedoms that made the internet worth protecting. Is this about child safety or government control? That's the debate Britain faces now. So what do you think? Is the Online Safety Act necessary protection or a dangerous overreach? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and we will see you in the next one.